Hi friends, welcome to Last Stitch Effort. This is my knitting podcast about using up my stash and trying not to add to it too much. My name is Pacasha and I'm joining you from New Mexico, where it is warm enough today that I do have hand knit socks on, but I'm kind of thinking about trading them out for just some sandals or something. No socks. Um, anyway, so that kind of takes care of intro and what I'm wearing. And I don't have like a whole lot of finished projects or anything to show you, but I do have a lot that I want to talk about because I've kind of went on a yarn winding frenzy last night, and I'm super excited about several projects because I'm close to finishing a few other things. And yeah, anyway, oh, and I wore bracelets. They may make noise, but hopefully that's just some nice ASMR and not a distraction or annoying. But I guess let's just get to it. So I do have some FOs. I know it's been like 3 weeks or something, but it's just been crazy with the fires, and now like we have really, really bad flooding in the area. So things have been kind of hectic and things have not gone back to normal. There's not going to be normal for any of us here, I don't think, for a while. But we're still okay. Our home is okay. Our family's okay. Um, our friends and family who have lost things, they're gonna be okay. So yeah, that's good. Anyway, finished objects. This was yarn that I got in Amarillo from Yellow City Fibres, and I made Jared Flood's Koolhaas. I don't know how to say that. It's Koolhaas, and that's, I guess, a library in Seattle, or an architect or something. Yeah, that did a library in Seattle. Anyway, it's got like these cool diamonds that you make by doing like faux cable type things, like twisted stitches and stuff. And it's one of my favorite patterns. And I finished it a while ago, and I had to wash it multiple times because it just kept bleeding. Um, so that was kind of a bummer, but I did end up soaking it in some vinegar. I almost put it in the microwave. Like, that's a pretty desperate thing to do, but it does help set the dye. Um, but yeah, so there's that, and I like it. And I probably talked about it last time that it was finished and I was still letting it soak, but now it's soaked and the water's running clear and it's dry and it's a wearable hat. So I always add that other repeat, an extra repeat, or the large size repeat, because Jared Flood's hats, I don't know, like, he makes them so they come up above your ear or just barely touching your ear, and that's just not enough for me and the people I usually knit hats for. So I always add a bit of length either in the ribbing or another pattern repeat. I know, like, there's a hat called Habitat, which I've made more than once, and I know I add to the ribbing of that if I don't add to the actual like stitch repeat, whatever. Anyway, there's that. All right. I am like surrounded by stuff, and it's all unorganized, so this could be a disaster, but so I also I made some little socks for some little friends of mine. They're so cute. These are just using up, these are the leftovers from the pair of red socks I made that I showed last time, and I ran out, but whatever. There's a right sock and a left sock. We're okay with that. Um, and then this pair is another leftover ball. So this is Lana Grossa Meilenweit neon red something. I don't know. It's a discontinued color from a long time ago, and it's just been in my stash, and I used up all of that, so that felt pretty darn good. This is Nomadic knits, self-striping. I think this color is Little Weasel, which to me that reference reminds me of Amelie, which I don't know if that's where that reference is, but anyway, that's what makes me think of. And I do have a pair of socks in this. Um, And I'm about to meet their mother. So those red socks that I finished, she wears the same shoe size as me. So I'm just going to give them to her because she can have matching socks with one of her boys. And I'll continue to knit them more socks so nobody's left out or anything. But yeah, they're just nice people to knit for. And it's my friend Emily that I've talked about, and she started knitting. And yeah, so we're going to get together and knit. And I'm very excited about that because she seriously just texted me right before I pushed record. Anyway. What else? Okay, I'll show you my Tour de Fleece finished things. I have like a huge spin that's going to be about a pound of fiber, and I'm spinning it super thin, and it's still on the wheel, and it's Hello Yarn Lanthorn. I think that's on the BFL, and I'm mixing it, well, I'm not mixing it, but I'm going to apply it with some Southern Cross fiber in a very similar color, like it's like a medium, like brown, just to kind of extend it, and it's going to be great. I'm just not going to show it to you right now because it's on the wheel. So this was my local Rambouillet that I finished. I don't know if it can focus. It maybe. Anyway, it's got a really nubbly hand spun texture, and I am super thrilled by it. It was kind of a pain to knit or to spin, but I did still enjoy it a lot. I mean, there was a lot of VM. I don't really mind too much. It did mean I have to pick out a lot, but that's okay because I enjoyed the process, and it made me feel like a real spinner from like the 1700s or some crap like that. Anyway, yeah, so I finished these, and I have enough to do, I'm going to do Ysolda Teague's Hallimede. I think that's how you say that. Shawl. It's just like, I think it's more of a shallow shawl, but it's got a lot of garter in it, so it's got a lot of good texture. And I mean, that's what this yarn is made for. So, and her sample is in a natural undyed color, so I thought that'd be perfect. So, yay! That's gonna. It's on the list. It's maybe a while because I did not cake it up, obviously, and you're gonna see. Like, I went crazy caking up stuff last night in preparation for actually knitting lots of stuff that I keep saying I'm going to knit and then I never knit it. So, but right now I have like 4 whips, so I kind of don't want to start a new project until I finish at least 5 whips. I don't know. Okay. I may have shown this last time, I'm not sure. This is a Tinkle and a Glint from Hello Yarn. Anyway, it's kind of almost a chunky weight. I wanted a nice, quick, it's not a palette cleanser. I think I started with this for Tour de Fleece, but I wanted just some instant gratification, and oh, I love it. This is a Superwash Targhee. I think that's how you say Targhee. That's how I always say it anyway, which is a lovely bouncy wool. And I think I'm going to make, there's a turban that Knitty came out with like 10 years ago by the women from Spin Cycle, and it's called Grey Gardens, and it's like an interlac, whatever, twisted turban thing to wear. The design is based on Edie, little Edie from Grey Gardens, which is it is my favorite documentary. That's just such a good watch. I mean, it's kind of sad, and I don't know, it's just beautiful, and I love it. And Jessica Lange and Drew Barrymore actually did a movie, like a live action movie based on that documentary, and I watched that kind of recently too, and it's amazing. So I don't know. Anyway, I'll probably do that with this just because I think it could look cool. I don't know. I may not. I may do something totally different, but I don't have plans for this yet. But it's going to be probably a hat or something of that sort because there's not a whole lot of yardage with it being so thick. So, and it's just a 2-ply. Both of mine were just 2-plies this time. The one I've got going is going to be a 2-ply also. Yeah, I haven't done a 3-ply in a while. I want to do a cable ply. I'll talk about that if I ever get to it. So I do have my wheel out, and it's in working order and ready to go. So I think it's going to be I am trying to spin a little bit, if not every day, every other day or something, even if it's just a few minutes. So maybe I'll have some more spinning to talk about. All right. All right, now it's the endless parade of whips. Except that's not true. There's not a whole lot of whips. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just get to it. Okay, this is Woolen Pines Sea Glass, which I talked about last time also. And I have worked on it since last time, but I did stop because I'm running really low on several colors. And I don't want it to be awkward where just like one sleeve is like all different yarns, because it is, I mean, the design elements are, you know, a mix of yarns. It's supposed to be like, you know, scrappy. So I did stop it. I think I talked about this last time too, maybe. I'm not sure. I do have almost all of one sleeve, but, you know, probably another couple of inches. Most of the body still, I don't know, I got pretty far in the body. And then this whole sleeve. So I'm hoping that because I still have 3 points available to knit, that I can add some other yarns in, and it'll still be like cohesive and not look really half-assed. But to do that, like I'm out of sock scraps, not out, but I'm really low on sock scraps, especially ones in this kind of muddy pastel feel, you know. So I don't want to buy a bunch of, you know, like minis or anything. I want this to be kind of a true scrappy project. So I thought that I would prepare a few other projects that I know aren't going to use every inch of yarn, so that I can throw some of those in here. So it's on hold until I finish a few things and have a few more choices of yarn, which I have pulled, and I will show you. Yeah, but I love that project. It's probably my favorite knit right now, and it's kind of a bummer that I'm not working on it, but I will. I'll finish it. I'm super excited by it. I already like envision like outfits with it and stuff, so very excited about that. But I don't know. Did I even show you much about it? Okay, so it's sea glass. It starts off, it's top down. It's got some short rows in the back, so, you know, it fits nicely on your neck. It's 1 by 1. And I'm changing colors every round. Yeah, I think there's a few rounds where I don't, but it's only like one of the colors, not both of the colors. You know, I don't know. And then I'm doing magic knots, which makes me kind of nervous. And my friend Alicia said she used some fray check, so I may put some fray check on it, on a few of, I don't know, because it's pardon me, it's, you know, mostly sock yarn, so it's like super wash, so it could, I haven't had a knot fail yet, but I'm a bit nervous by that. Anyway, it's gonna be great. And I'm already thinking about my next one. I even ordered some yarn to be the main color in the next one. I mean, I kind of have this thing where if you're ordering a little bit of yarn to use up a lot of leftover yarn or yarn that you already have, that's not a total stash busting sin, but yeah. It's a process. It's a process. I have to respect the process. Okay, where am I going to put this? Seriously, I am surrounded. It's kind of nuts. Okay, we'll put that there. So my next work in progress is my husband Mark's sweater, which I'm using Ann Budd's The Knitter's Handy Book of Sweater Patterns, which is actually the book that I'm using to keep my system stable. I did the front, the back. I did both of the fronts and the back because it's a cardigan. And Mark is so tall. He is like really tall, and he has very long arms. They look so funny. I mean, that could be like a dress length for me, but yeah, it's like super long arms. Anyway, I'm on the sleeve caps, and I only have a little bit left on the sleeve caps. I'm doing both of the sleeves at the same time. They are worked flat, And then I'll seam all these, well actually I will block all these pieces when I finish, and I'll seam it up, and then I'll do the button band, and then I'll be done. So that's good, and I feel really good about it. I think it's gonna fit him nicely, and it's like his favorite color. This is Wool of the Andes by Knit Picks in the color Cranberry, which they sell in like value packs. So I had 2 bags of that, and I'm gonna make it through like 15 balls of yarn. It's gonna be epic. So that's good. That's a lot of yarn out of the stash. Yeah, so I'm almost done with that, and I know it's not much to see right now, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I can get Mark to come on here. Mark, would you be willing to step in and show off your cardigan? Talk about knitting? Talk about your wife's crazy obsession? Okay. Next. I am working on this pair of socks. I don't know where I was last time. It was probably in a similar place. I don't know. I think I'm about ready to do the heel flap. And this is another pair, or another skein of yarn that I got in Amarillo at Yellow City Fibres. The owner dyes, and dyes a lot of the yarn there. Pardon me. And yeah, this is a color that she did, and I was kind of worried about it. Like I don't mind, you know, variegated yarn, speckled yarn, you know, pooling yarn. I don't mind that. I just kind of thought, I don't know. It was really cool in the skein. Then I got worried when I balled it up, and then I got worried when I did the ribbing, but I think I'm okay with it. I call it my Victorian Christmas. Goth Christmas. Anyway, I think it's pretty. Yeah. So, not a whole lot, but I've kind of put the easy knits aside, and I'm trying to get the things with shaping, like the Mark's cardigan and stuff, out of the way while I'm just sitting around and not going anywhere to knit. And then I'll work on the easier ones when I go somewhere, which is what this is. This is my going to trivia, going to the bar, because I'm not a drinker, but sometimes we go listen to music, or, you know, just to get out of the house. So anyway, these are my navy socks. So I have 1 sock done. I don't know where I was last time, but yeah, I've got 1 sock done. It's just very simple, 2x2. I do 60 stitches on size 0 needles because I'm a very, very loose knitter. And they're for me. And I wear a size, oh, the color changed. I wear a size like 6.5 shoe. So usually making socks for myself, it's pretty quick. So I am really close, yeah, to the heel flap on the second one. So this is what I will be knitting when I go have coffee and knit with my friends today. There's so much. Okay. And so far nothing's been in a project pack. This one is in a just a little drawstring bag that I got at Matterroot, Maine, or from Matterroot, Maine. She does a lot of really pretty project bags, and I wouldn't mind some of her bigger claspy ones, but I have so many bags that I don't need to buy any more bags, just like I don't need to buy any more yarn. Doesn't stop me much, but anyway, I do have a cool bag to show you. My local knitting, not knitting, I don't have a local knitting store. My local quilting store had these tote things. I think they're by Moda Fabrics, and every different color has a different like quilt, patchwork quilt type pattern. And so I got one. Me and my friend Alicia got one, and then I got one from my friend Emily, and I told her to pick between 2 colors, and the service like our cell service is still really bad, and it's really bad where the shop is. And so she didn't get back to me in time, so I bought both of them, and then she said the blue, and then I'm like, oh, well, I already got the green one too. So guess what? I have 2 of these with this red one. And then I have this lovely, like, tealy green, turquoise green, whatever. But I don't mind because I love supporting that shop, and I got my sewing machine serviced, and yeah, it's just find ways to support your local people the best way you can. And these are fabulous, like, project buckets, like, so good. They are just so easy to carry around. They're the perfect size. They have a nice flat bottom. They're super sturdy. I love it. It's usually I like a good zip top project bag, like your typical wedge type bag, but these are my favorite now. Anyway, so we are at the point where I am going to show you what I've caked up in anticipation of what I'm going to make. So first things first, I'll go with the thing I actually have, like, bagged up. So I'm talking about having too many project bags, and then I have a project planned, and it's just in this organza bag from Wool Warehouse. So I probably need to get a sturdier bag for this. But anyway, I'm going to make Natasha Hornby's Glint shawl, which I'm sorry I don't know how to edit and put a picture of it in here, but I will, list it below. If I can link it, I will. I probably won't, just because I know several people are really sensitive to Ravelry, and that's why I don't ever link things below. Because I figure you can use Google, or you can go, if you would prefer to look it up on Instagram or wherever, then you just at least have that information. So I'm going to make it using these colors. And this is going to be my main color. This is a color I dyed back when I had a hand dyeing business. And this is, I don't remember the color. It's all of my Tweety stuff I called Shire string, and they're all named after Lord of the Rings things, people or scenes or whatever. This is an orange flower yarns called Turnip or Parsnip, maybe. It's their Flora sock. And then I've got this is Knit Picks Twill and Rosewater Heather. And this is, I think it's a discontinued Rowan cashmere tweed in a nice teal. And so this is going to be a very soon cast on, because I think these 2 colors will work in my sweater. Yeah. So I specifically picked a project that would, yeah. Anyway, so I will use these 2 in my, what's it called? Sea glass. So that's coming up. I'm very excited to knit it. I think it's a super cute design. Yeah, I think it'll be a nice shawl in colors that I love. So what else? So when I was in Santa Fe at the spring festival, whatever, they also have a yarn store there called Acer. And they had a kit, and I wanted to get the kit, but then I felt guilty because I knew I was going to be buying fiber, so I didn't get the kit, but my friend Alicia got it for me. And so this kit is for the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mowry, and it uses Spin Cycle. And this, I think, is Ghost Ranch, Wild Horses, Salty Dog. And so this will be my Shift Cowl. And so I caked that up today, and we have a kit for my friend Emily too. So I hope she likes it, and I hope she makes it too, because Alicia's already started hers, and it's so good to have knitting friends. Like, I haven't had anybody to knit with for years, and I've never had like a group of like actual friends. It was, you know, you can knit with people that you love, that are fantastic and you love them, but these are like actual, like close to my heart, amazing friends that would be my friends whether they knit or not. And just, I've never had this before, and I don't think I've had this before, not like this. But anyway, so I am super excited when we are able to get together or do things together or whatever. Anyway, so this will be that. And if I have leftovers, which I may, I'm going to pair it with some handspun and make another one, because why not? Because this stuff is very similar to exactly what I spin. My default spin is very similar to Spin Cycle in weight and ply, everything. So there's that. Okay, now I'm gonna find a place to put this. Okay, we'll put that like that. So my friend Alicia also, bless her, got me a sweater's quantity of Farmer's Daughter Confluence cotton, and it's so pretty. Like this color is probably not my favorite, but I have this pair of earrings that when I pair it with this, oh, that's blowing out. When I pair it with this, it's going to match my favorite earrings of all time so well. And I mean, this color, it works for me. You know, although I do have kind of a lot of red in my hair, I do have a lot of very cool skin. A lot of very cool skin. That's weird to say. So I'm going to hold these two together. This is Rowan Kitzel K's. I don't remember the name of this color. It's like Sky or something like that. So I'm going to hold these two together and make a nebula by Andrea Mowry. And I'm going to make a short sleeve version because I can't imagine long sleeves and mohair, even if it's with some cotton. So I think this is like Rambouillet and cotton or Targhee and cotton. I'm not sure, but it's really cool. And Alicia, my friend, has made several nebulas and they're beautiful. And yeah, super excited to make that. And that will remind me of my friend. So I have friends, you guys. It's so exciting. You guys are my friends too. And if you were here, I would be so happy and love to knit with you too. So just so you know, you guys are my friends. And you would totally, oh, I would just love to see all of you. Like, oh, y'all are precious. Thank you for watching me, even though I'm awkward and weird. Okay. And thanks for leaving me comments. I've had so many nice things, and sometimes if I'm like really feeling down, I just go back and I read my comments because I know there's good people out there, and I can't always respond, and I do try. I know our internet's been kind of spotty, but we're getting back on track with things, so I'll be answering your questions or anything, or I don't know, hopefully sharing the love back that you have given to me, because it's amazing and priceless, and thank you. I'm all sappy about it. That's okay. I do have another whip before. I just found another whip in here. This is Andrea Mowry's faded, or not faded, framed, which, sorry, I have to organize as I do this because it's kind of crazy. I started this and I don't think I have, no, I know I don't have enough yarn to do it exactly as the pattern states. So I'm going to have plain sleeves and not put that quilty color work on the sleeves. I am using, this is going to be awkward because I'm in the middle of the row, which is ridiculous. My main color is Peace Fleece and Olive Roots, which I've had in my stash for years. And I mean, this may seem really low contrast, but I like low contrast color work. This is some hand spun that I spun a long time ago, and it's like a mixture of two brands, two different colors. I don't really remember. I thought I would have something in here. I do have it written down somewhere. But anyway, so I have, you know, this is gonna be my sweater. And I've already started. It's not like a huge contrast. When I did my swatch, it was enough that I think it'll be okay. But I think I'm going to get through a whole block and then decide if it's really going to work out. I think it'll be fine though, and it doesn't matter. It's going to be pretty. It just won't look like everybody else's. And that's okay. That's kind of like the story of my life. So, okay, that is this bucket. No, it's not this bucket empty because I took a lot of stuff out just to show you. I also wanted to show you, so in the spring I kind of invested in some thread and maple things, and I have, this is one of their pages that I use for my sock. I think this is like, it's not a notions page, maybe it is, but I put all of my sock needles in here, like my favorite sock needles, some high sharps, and anyway, I have everything I need to do socks just in this thing, and then I have like one of those. This is from Suburban Stitcher, back when she used to do that. Anyway, so this like I carry around with me. This, it's like my little notions bag when I'm traveling and doing socks, which is almost always. So I just thought I would show you that. That's actually quite handy, pricey, but super quality and handy, and it travels well, and it has everything I need. So just thought I'd share that with you while it was right here on top of this basket. So let me show you some other things that I caked up. Oh, we're at 30 minutes. That's okay. That's okay. We need a good long, I need to talk about something other than the fire and the floods in this town, because it's depressing and it's very hard to deal with. So let's talk about yarn, and I have some super fun things. This is Plank and Stella Sestra Helena, which is Orphan Black reference. And so I caked this up, and this will be a pair of socks for my cousin. When we were evacuated, my cousin's little girl, Stella, is like the coolest kid. She is so cool. I mean, he has two amazing children, but Stella was talking about how she wanted some knitted socks, and she wanted pink socks. I think she said she liked purple too. I know she said she liked purple too. But anyway, this yarn company is Plank and Stella, so I thought I would do this. And so that will be socks for Stella. And then I talked about, sorry, I should be in frame when I talk. I talked about knitting some more socks for my friend Emily's boys. So I caked up these two. This is Nomadic Knits. This is Neville, and it's a self-striping on her Brit sock, which has BFL. And she doesn't do Harry Potter colorways, or she's renamed them. But this was the Neville, and yeah, I bought it a long time ago. I'm excited to use it. This is Knitter's Nightmare in Slime and Snails, which is a Labyrinth reference, which is like my favorite movie. So I will be making socks, mix them together, make more socks. They're little socks, so I should be able to get 4 pairs of socks out of this, and I think that they'll be really cute. So I love the colors, and I would love, you know, a pair for myself, but I've got plenty of socks, and it's time to share the love. And since Emily started knitting, her boys are like, is that for me? Is that for me? And, you know, she's starting out, so I don't know. I just feel like I should knit for the boys so she can keep knitting what she wants to knit as she's learning to knit. Does that make sense? So maybe that will keep them from asking, is that for me all the time? Or maybe I don't think she feels guilty that she's not knitting for herself, because you should never feel guilty if you're knitting for yourself versus other people. But little boys, I don't know. When your kids are like asking for things, I'll just take care of that so she can just keep doing what she's doing, right? Okay. I also scanned up, I'm not sure what this is for. I just saw it and I'm like, this has been in my stash forever. This is Hedgehog Fibres skinny sock in Anemone. And I got this at Loopy U several years ago. It's a ridiculous color. It will probably be socks for Stella, the boys, I'm not sure, like, or my nieces, or I don't know. This is also in the sock list. Cute. And then I had this one caked up already to add to my, why can't I remember? Sea glass. It's a little bit darker than what I'm using, but I still think held together, or maybe held with a strand of like lighter mohair, it'll work, and in that sweater. This is, she used to be Once Upon a Corgi. Plies and Hellhounds is what she goes by now. And they do, this was apple fritters. Yeah. And it's just on a single. When I ordered it, I'm pretty sure I ordered a sock yarn and I got a singles yarn, which is fine. But it has been sitting in here for a long time because I just didn't quite know what to do with it. But I think using it in that sweater will be good. And while I was at it, I went ahead and caked up this, which I may or may not use. And this is Madeline Tosh Euro Sock in Gentle Monster, which was, they had like a minimalist or neutral club several years ago. All of this yarn is really old, with the exception of the Farmer's Daughter and the Stuff Forgotten Amarillo and the Shift kit. Like, for the most part, all of this stuff is years, I've had for years, so it's nice to get it out, air it out, cake it up, get ready to knit with it. So anyway, this is Euro Sock. I think it's just merino, so I wouldn't want to do socks out of this, so I may add that a little bit to my sweater, and then the things that are left over will be used together, possibly in another sweater. Or I really like the sea glass cowl and hat. I think I would probably have enough leftovers after this to do something like that. Okay, that is the green tub. This is, okay, let's get into the red tub. So in this one, for the most part, it's the purple Bitterroot Fibres Daughter Confluence Cotton. But I did tell you that I ordered some yarn to make another sea glass, possibly a cardigan. I think I will do a steeked pullover versus her cardigan pattern. I'm not sure, but I have a few other like sock remnants, pardon me, that are like darker colors. So I'm gonna do like, this is way darker in real life. This is so blue. Okay, it's a super dark like petrol teal color, which is my favorite color. So I got this as the main color, Drops Lima, and so that will be like, you know, the ribbing and, you know, several rows through the body. I probably won't do every other row in this, but it will be like a unifying color through the whole thing. And that's what I'm going to do to use up my darker sock leftovers. What else? I picked up some more basic like sock colors. I've gotten kind of picky about my sock yarn. I used to love like Knit Pick Stroll, just because like I like their color selection. I have quite a bit of it, Fleece and stuff like that, but I'm finding I really need sturdier socks than that. I've had a few instances where they just get fuzzy, and like that's why I'm knitting a pair of those navy socks with the Cascade, and I'm a bit worried about that. It seems a lot softer than I thought, but anyway, Drops Fable, I don't know how you're supposed to say it, but it's a really sturdy sock. That, yeah, it's a good sturdy, so it's not soft, well, it's soft, but it's not like merino soft or anything, so I don't have to worry about it not being perfectly appropriate for socks. So I got just some basic colors, just once again to kind of help me use up a lot of other leftovers, either in stripes, which not the biggest fan of stripes, but I'll do them, or, you know, color work, or I don't know, just to have basic things so that I can do a pattern sock without it being on variegated yarn. So it's kind of course correcting from past sock yarn mistakes. My absolute favorite sock yarn that holds up perfectly is West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply, their signature 4-ply. That's my favorite sock yarn, but they did not have a navy, so that kind of started me on the Cascade one. I hope it works out, but I'm always a big fan of Fable also. And so I ordered that Lima and the Fable, and the reason I did that was because I finished that ranunculus in the spring, that red one. And, you know, a lot of, like, my body's changed quite a bit. I'm going through some health things, and a lot of my stuff just doesn't fit me anymore. So while I can take in a lot of things, you know, sewing wise, it's kind of a pain in the butt. And I'm also a huge fan of a smaller wardrobe anyway. So this has all given me a chance to really think about how I want to change my wardrobe. And really get pieces that work in a variety of ways. So I love wearing my ranunculi. I have two that I wear, a red one and a turquoise drop. It's drops in petrol. And I really like the way the drops has been holding up. So I wanted a black one because I wear a lot of black. And I'm so rude, I'm sorry. The only place I could find it, well, okay, I can find it in a lot of places, but I do like Wool Warehouse, and I wanted to get, you know, an order together that was big enough to justify shipping from Europe and the carbon footprint and all that stuff. And they've been out of the black drops bell for a long time. And I got the notification that it was back in stock, like right when we evacuated. And so I kind of waited a while, and I'm like, you know what? That's actually going to be exactly what I need in my wardrobe. Like, this may be my next project, because I know I will wear it, if not once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. I will wear it a lot. And I like this yarn. I think it's perfect. It gets me exactly the gauge I want for a ranunculus. I'm going to be doing a smaller size this time, I think. It's such a good pattern. Like, I love it. And I love to throw it over a dress, and that's that, or a tank top, and then it's not so hot. I did one out of a Yarn Bee, which is a Hobby Lobby yarn. And it was just too, like, thick, and then it just did not wash well at all. So it became something that it was just unwearable. And so I know that I will wear this all the time. I know that I will love it. I know that it will match several things that I don't have things that go with anymore. Like, things just don't fit me anymore. So, or they look kind of sloppy. I don't know. I don't really want to look sloppy. So I'm super excited. So that's why I put that order in. And I don't feel guilty about it at all, because I know, like, everything I got was very well thought out and will work with what I have, which I think is an important consideration. Don't just get things out of the blue and try to shove them into your life. You integrate it into your life. Yeah. So I think we'll end on that. There's just so much. There's a few other things in this basket, and there's a lot of other things in this basket, but for now, we'll just move on. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a great weekend ahead. If I don't know when you're going to watch this, but I'm excited to be back in the groove. Hopefully I can podcast like every week or 2 weeks like normal. This is about a year since I started this podcast, and I didn't share my numbers with you because I have, I'm actually quite disappointed in myself that I brought in more yarn. And lately there's been a glut of yarn, but I think we've established over this year that obviously I'm an emotional buyer. And there's been a lot of big things that have happened this year. I feel like it's been like that for a few years. I'm kind of realizing I need a better way to deal with the stress, because obviously I can't control the things that have been happening, but I can control how I handle it to an extent. So I'm working on that. Yeah. So my friend Alicia and I had kind of not a no buy, but, you know, a more conscientious buying plan. And I've broken it. She's broken it. But I'm I'm not going to speak for her because she's got her own things that she has to deal with, but I'm done. Like there's nothing I need. I can sit here and say, oh, I want to get this and this and this to do this, but I need to work with what I've got. And I should be okay with that. Like I need to be okay in here with that. So that's the hope. Yeah. Awkward laughter and yeah. Anyway. That's it. I hope your stash is bringing you happiness and joy, and I hope you have time to use it, and I hope all the good things. And I'm just going to throw this in here. I am super excited to vote for a female president. And I will leave it at that because I don't really want to get into it. I don't think we need to. I'm excited. Okay. Love you guys. Have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you soon.